Hello, my delicious co-creators. Lilou here on the beautiful island of Kauai, at the footsteps of Makalea.
We are here on a beautiful day in this magical island. And I've been away for 2 months traveling and teaching. So for you, like me, it's just so happy to be back. It's great. Yeah.
And I so enjoyed last time our conversation. I don't know if you remember, there was Nana and she was jumping around.
Oh, Nana. Can we talk a little bit about Nana? Because Nana's story is everybody's story. Why? Because Nana is a co-creator. And we don't think about dogs always as these conscious spiritual beings. We may think of them as conscious, beautiful beings, but we don't think of them as these active dream generators.
What happened to Nana?
Okay.
Because she's not here. She's not here right now.
Not here right now. But Nana's here energetically in our hearts. But if you remember the last video, Nana was all over us. Nana's a love creature. He loved you, Lilou. Just is fantastic. But Nana wasn't getting enough attention because I travel a lot, right? Like I said, I just got back from a 2-month trip and I'll be here just for a short time and I'm off again. And it was really hard on this love dog. And we have workshops here and, you know, lots of cool stuff here at Kahuna Valley. But Nana really wasn't getting what he needed. 4th of July, here in the United States, they celebrate with fireworks and all this insane stuff too. I'm not sure what they celebrate. But anyway, this loud fireworks. And Nana freaked out every year. And every year he would run away and he'd come back the next morning. But the fireworks, they happened quite far from here, 20 kilometers away. But it would still, he's so sensitive and it would freak him out. Well, this last 4th of July, I was prepared. I had the lights on. I had a little special anxiety vest for him. I stayed with him through the fireworks. He did okay. So I went to bed at midnight. But some neighbors shot off some fireworks. And I was so afraid. I got back in the morning, came downstairs, Nana's gone. Nowhere to be seen. I waited, he didn't have his breakfast. And everybody knows, dogs have their patterns, right? And he wasn't there. All of a sudden I get a phone call. The Humane Society. They said, someone has found your dog. Here's their number. So it was somebody from the U.S. mainland. So I called the person's number back and she goes, don't worry. I'm a veterinarian and I take care of dogs and I found your dog and I'm at a breakfast place in town and we're feeding him bacon and eggs and he had a good breakfast and you can come down anytime you want to get him. I'm going, in town? I said, what restaurant? Because we're far from everything up here, as you can tell. 10 kilometers away. He ran and somehow found this woman who was a veterinarian. Okay, so I said, okay, well, hold him there. I'll get him. She goes, oh, he's fine. Everybody loves him here at the restaurant. We have him tied to a chair. I'm thinking, oh, my God. All right, so the story gets better. Now I'm doing my things I have to do. I finally get ready to go. I get another call. This is the manager of the mall that the restaurant is part of. She says, I just want to let you know we had to move Nana from the restaurant. He's back with the maintenance crew, the workers, and we love him. We shampooed him, we fed him, and everybody's having a good time playing with him. I'm going, Nana, the manifester, right? So I said, I'll be down there as soon as I can. I said, don't worry. We're having a great time. We love him. So I get down there. 4 big Hawaiian guys are petting him. Nana's in heaven, feeding him treats. He's all puffed up from a shampoo. And the manager, the Hawaiian woman, is standing over him saying, we love this guy. And out of my mouth automatically goes, why don't you guys keep him? I don't know where it came from. And Nana's staring right at me and like nodding like, good. And one of the big Hawaiian guys goes, I love this dog. My wife has been having a dream for the last 7 nights that a little yellow Labrador will be coming into her life. And she keeps asking me, can you go find a little golden dog? I need this dog. And he goes, where are we going to find this dog? She's pregnant. She just had a baby. So she's super sensitive. Nana must have picked it up. I don't know how you explain these things, but Nana found that guy. And when I said, well, maybe Nana could go home with you, he started like tearing. I said, well, if you really think this is serious, you better talk to your wife and I'll talk to Nana. I took Nana home. How do you talk to a dog? You just feel the vibe. And he really wanted it. I get a call back from the guy and he says, my wife started crying. She would love to have Nana. We have a little Chihuahua who's really lonely. So Nana's going to get an at-home mom, which he loves, somebody around all the time, a little Chihuahua, a little dog to be his best friend. And the next thing I know, I'm driving Nana down to this guy. Well, I've put Nana in the back of the truck only a couple times. we have to have pickup trucks for a place like this. So usually he just curls in the corner. Now he's standing up on the edge, looking around as if he's looking at the world for the last time up here. And as we went down, maybe about 5-6 kilometers around, made the turn, and we left the area, only then he backed down. And when I brought him to this guy, he walked right up to that guy like they'd been friends forever. And the man petted the dog, teared up again. And I had just bought a giant bag of dog food, a case of cans, so he got all the food he liked. Who's a good dreamer? Nana engineered his next life. And it taught me so much, It was hard to...
Love Nana.
No, and he'd been here for many years up here.
Such a good companion.
But it was time. And sometimes you have to look in your heart to say, I've got to let go, even of an attachment that feels so deep,
Yeah. And it's more than even a companion. For you, it's...
Yeah, but
he's a master.
Yeah, Nana hung around Watsu's, right? Even when you had your Watsu, Nana hanged around the Watsu session. So Nana's a real participant in this place and a real conscious being. I mean, anybody who knows about animals, just because they're animals doesn't mean they don't carry this high vibe. Oh. And Nana engineered his next life, and he taught me how you can do it with grace and compassion. And even though it was hard for me, I knew it was the right thing. And here's this couple with a new baby, got this creature in his life now. So he went on to his next lesson and his next journey. Amazing. Yeah.
Well, this is a big lesson in letting go and just letting life move where it needs to move. It's quite amazing.
It's not easy sometimes, right? I got back in the truck afterwards and I teared up a little bit, and it was, it was hard, but I knew, when you know in your heart, this is the right thing. Yeah. And when you get your ego out of the way and you get your logic out of the way, right? Because logic is you don't give a dog to a stranger. You don't get rid of your companion. But you have to let go of all that logic and you listen to your heart, and the heart's not about logic. The heart's about saying, what's the energy flow? What is the right flow for this moment? And can I engage in that flow deeply enough to participate in a harmonious way? Ay, ay, ay.
Tell us about this reality, the dream, the manifesting, all of that. How does that for you show up in life? Because I know you're an instructor, Qigong instructor, and you travel around the world, and you definitely have decades and decades of learning, of deepening your wisdom. How do you see life, and how does life show up? Because I know you have a slightly different angle than the commercial side, I should say, of the law of attraction, with its kind of imposing our own thoughts on how reality should be. That's not what you...
Yeah, I always have to look at myself and my thinking. We're the best laboratory, right? What works for us? It's our dream. So the more I look at the world, I try to have this like a meter that says, is this empowering or disempowering? Is it feeding duality or is it feeding singularity? Is it keeping me in touch with all things in the universe, or is it separating me? So all these kind of things I always put around thoughts and concepts. So what's been happening more and more often in my life is watching this world more like a dream, And I like compare it, a dream or a machine, right? We have this machine, mechanistic view of the world, or you can have a dream view of the world. So you want to look at life a particular way, and I don't think there's an in-between. And so I keep checking. Am I looking at the world as a dream, or am I back to the machine state? And the machine's about scarcity, separation, duality, linear function, all that left brain stuff. And the dream is all about connectedness. Because what happens when we're dreaming, right? You can go from the mountaintop to a city in a dream. You can go past, future. Dream, what we call sleeping dreams, is a place where time and space is more liquid, more malleable. And I believe that it really is in this waking state. So I've really been working towards this waking dream concept. And for me, it makes more and more sense. It's this concept that if we are dreaming this dream, we are unfolding a world, not that we're manifesting, not that we're creating, not that it's attracting this world, but it's more about engaging in the dynamic of this moving, living environment where you and I are one creature that just happens to look like two separate people, but we're in this sharing of a dream in this time. And that your dream is dreaming me and my dream is dreaming you. But the fact is, it's all coming from one core place. And when we harmonize our hearts, then the dreams merge. Those dreaming fields merge in really beautiful ways. So I want to get away from anything that's getting me to think about duality, anything that's out there. So manifesting is something out there that I want to manifest something. I want to manifest that $1 million check. So all I'm focusing on is that $1 million check, and I'm forgetting about the dreaming quality of the movement towards there. And that maybe it's not the $1 million check that I want at all, but I want the essential energetic that lies what kind of lurks behind that intention, right? So I think if we move more and more into that essential place, we can find that we're getting more of what we really want in this life.
So of being, of I am.
Yeah, of I am, of rather than saying that there are things out there that I need. There's the perfect partner, my, what do people call it? The beloved. I'm looking for this, perfect job. They're looking for this thing. They're looking for that. They're looking for money. They're looking for healing. We're always wanting something, right? And so when we say I want something, what does that really mean? You're telling the universe, I am want of it. It means I don't have it. So we're constantly telling the universe, I don't have the relationship, I don't have this, I don't
Lack.
Yeah. So we're like these little ducks sitting around all day long. Can we change that language? Can we go back into that language of energetics and say that I am this amazing energy being, and I, as energy, which the quantum physicists are telling us all the time, that we are this radiating field of energy, and that if I align that energy a certain way, I generate a reality. I'm not creating it. I'm not manifesting it. I'm not attracting it. I'm influencing the atoms around us to vibe similar to where I am. And all of a sudden, the world starts to be familiar. And when we proceed in a familiar way, we have confidence. When we have a certain confidence, our heart opens up, right? Fear goes down. Intuition goes up. The sleeping state of fear turns into the waking state of intuition. And all of a sudden, when we're awake, we see things differently. So it's about staying awake.
Yeah, because tell us about those sleeping patterns. Because actually, being angry or being hateful or fearful is a sleeping pattern. It's not. We're not alive. We feel alive sometimes.
Yeah, and we're caught up in that whole drama of, if it's moving, we're alive. So if I'm angry, I'm alive. If I'm engaged in this drama at work, I'm alive. Even though I might hate it, even though I might tell everybody, oh, I just hate that drama at work. But did you hear about Mary? And you know what I mean? And we do these funny things, and we have to catch ourselves, because in those moments we drop into that sleeping state. We drop into that place where we're engaged on the conflict level, on the duality level, on the drama level. And when we're awake, we can look above it. But then we say, well, if I get away from that, I'm not going to have as much fun. And I watch so many people in relationships keep that anger machine going, keep that bickering going, keep that fear thing going, keep whatever it is going, because they feel like that's keeping it alive. And what would life be like if I didn't have that? So do we have the courage to say, I don't know what life would be like, but I'm willing to engage in it? And that's what takes the courage, I think, is to say that, yes, I can have fun living this life in a more spiritual way, because in that place, it's going to go really fast. And we're going to make connections that are unexpected. And wild stuff starts to happen. We all know it, right? When you have that courage and you let go, you jump off that cliff, you don't know. The water may turn into flowers and you start dancing. It may not be what you think. So we have to trust in that unexpected. I used to be Barbara Marx Hubbard's personal assistant for many years, and I love Barbara. She's amazing.
Met again her in Toulouse.
You did.
Yeah.
Barbara is a trip. And so I was a young guy being her personal assistant in Washington, and she used to always remind me, expect the unexpected. And I love that, because expecting the unexpected means that I have to put myself into absolute trust mode. I have to disengage that logic. I have to disengage that sense of I need to manifest this or that and just drop into I don't know. And I'm good with the not knowing. I'm comfortable with not knowing. You know, I'm happy to be in this place of immersion in an infinite energy field. That I am consciousness, knowing itself as consciousness, immersed in this infinite field of energy, and I don't know what the heck's going to go on next. But I'm going to dive into it with a complete sense of not wanting the drama. I don't want this drama. I don't need it. I let go and I just say that I am this infinite field of energy. And as such, my atoms start to dance with the atoms around me, and this world will start to swirl in a whole different way. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think for me, that's what gives me courage when I don't know how I'm going to make mortgage at the end of the month. Oh, and I don't know how things are going to unfold for a workshop when I go to another country. I don't know how things are going to happen. I just have to dive off and trust. And it always works, right? I mean, 99% of the time, it always works. And when it doesn't work, it's still working. We just have to trust that it's working.
Yeah, but the question is really, how good can it be?
How courageous are you? How much can you live from your heart? The heart doesn't know about time and space. Heart energy, in ancient times, they call it Shen. The heart was a spirit. Shen means spirit. So you lived in this spirit space where you're not in a world of time and space. You're not constricted by that, right? When you're in love, you don't think about tomorrow. When you're in love, you don't think about things. You don't think about time and space. So we've got to be in that heart place of a loving place where there is no concern about time and space. So time means, what's going to happen tomorrow? Time means, oh God, you know, in the past this happened to me when I was young. So those are locks we have into future and past. And space is all about things, having enough of something, having too much of something, or thinking about the body. These are all spatially related stuff. So think about everything that you do that has a time or a space component to it. And then for me, I just wrap it with gratitude. Every time that thought comes up, I call it an edge. Every time we hit that edge, I say, thank you for showing me that edge. Because the edge is my trust, right? Yeah. Any problem you have in life, any conflict, tends to be that edge that you've met of your trust, where your trust got challenged or dropped out or something. So I say, thank you for showing me the edge of my trust that I'm dreaming awake in an infinite universe. So that's become my mantra lately. Sometimes I say it 27 times a day, you know, whatever I'm facing. But I say it and I'll say it and say it until all of a sudden it becomes like I'm breathing it, you know. And then all of a sudden the duality drops. All of a sudden that time and space issue takes on a different component, a different perspective.
And it kind of melts. The seemingly negative is transmuted.
Yes, because as we change our identity, as we change our perspective about who we are, not about the thing, about who we are, right? Then the world starts to change because the vibration about your identity shifts, and then the atoms around you shift, and the world around you shifts, and all of a sudden something happened. And it only happened because you had the courage to vibe at a new way, you know? So that's what I think we're all being asked to do, you know? And there's no perfect, this isn't a perfect science. I screw up all the time, you know?
But boy, do you have fun.
Yeah, and you try to have fun doing it, you know? And I mean, I did something stupid the other day, and I whacked myself in the head while I was taking some mats down for class the other day. I knew it was going to happen because I was all upset that somebody didn't clean up the room properly, and the closet was a mess, and I couldn't believe how inconsiderate somebody was by leaving this room a mess, blah, 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 all that inner chatter. And I went into that room with that thought, and of course, one of those little chair things bonked me in the head, and I had to laugh. And then I just shifted everything, and just looked at the pile of junk a little different way. But you know what you're getting into. You know when you carry some thought that's out of harmony, it's going to ripple out and something's going to happen. So why? So catch yourself. So even though I think about these things all the time, sometimes I get caught up on my stuff, you know? Yeah. And sometimes all of a sudden I'm carrying that thought, but I know enough that, oh shit, I know that thought's I better clear it now or that chair is going to fall on my head again, right? So we're always learning. Yes. It's a beautiful dance that you don't perfect this. That's why you can't be a master of these things. Anything really juicy, you can't master. It's a dynamic that flows. It's a dynamic that's constantly unfolding. We're constantly dancing around it, learning about it, refining it. And you have to make that part fun.
Yeah, and that's what I really enjoy about you, and because first of all, you don't want to be called a master, and I've done some of those videos online where it doesn't feel right. Why you're not a master?
I think
after 40 years of practice and traveling, and
my feeling is anything worth mastering probably isn't worth doing. Talk to a carpenter, a master carpenter, and they'll tell you that they'll still stop and build just a little birdhouse sometime, just to hone their skills, that they're always learning something. They'll tell you, wow, I just used this new piece of wood and I learned the way this wood polishes in a unique way, you know? A real master never is finished. They'll never tell you they've mastered it because they'll always tell you they're learning something new. Mm-hmm. So there's a sense of mastery that says, I have contained the knowledge of this thing and now I can get around this thing. Yeah. You know, that seems like a lot of work. You know, I'd like to just be in the flow and let dogs continue to teach me cool things. Let a piece of wood continue to teach me great things. Let this land continue to remind me that there is no way we can have mastery over it. Right? Mastery is that old world view. Yeah. I want to be down from the bottom looking up and saying, wow, there is like an infinite world unfolding around me with so much that if I just open my heart, I'm just going to continue to be brought in new stuff. And some of it might not be great. Some of it might be a challenge, but I'm willing to engage in that edge because it's going to open my heart more.
We have the
rooster.
The rooster, and you were saying they're actually not singing.
Listen to what they're saying. The ones that are on the mountain, they say, Makaleha!
This is Makaleha Mountain?
This is the mountain, Makaleha Mountain. So I think these roosters know where they are. Oh. And if you go down the road where it's a different mountain and a whole range, Makaleha. I'm not making it up. They don't say that down there. They're something
hypnotized by the mountain. This mountain is really powerful, goddess.
Really, how did they come up with the name of the mountain in the first place? Everybody, you know, whatever the ancients had for this name, the roosters are in the vibe of that. So I think it's just another reminder that we are in this crazy dreaming we call life, and we're in this vibe, and how to move from a heart-centered vibe rather than a reactionary vibe from an outside, an internally referenced dreaming than an externally referenced dreaming.
Very different. Very different paradigm. And I love all these conversations because they're really bringing us closer to this new paradigm, and we can live in it right now. We don't need to wait. Even with the 2012, the 21st of December, we can be in it now.
You know, we need to say it infinite different ways. All of us need to say it. Everybody who's listening says it their way. We each need to say it infinite ways because we live in an infinite universe. There is no one way to describe infinity. It's impossible. So the beauty is find all the ways we can express our own lives as many ways as we can. And don't lock your identity around one thing or one expertise or one way that you have a good time. You know, brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand sometime. Do something different. Keep breaking those patterns to open up our infinite connection. You know, and what's happening on, you know, the 21st, this upcoming solstice, is really just the middle of a big, long process that takes a long time. So if it was a cycle that lasted an hour, then the peak of that hour might be very powerful for us. But if it took thousands of years, then we've already been experiencing the influence of that, and we will continue to experience the influence of it for a while. So I like to think of this upcoming solstice as a reminder that we're in a beautiful dynamic flow. You know, the earth is wobbling. That's all it's talking about. And the earth is wobbling. And now we're wobbling to a place where the core of that axis is aiming towards the center of our galaxy. That big black hole, the center past Sagittarius. So it's scientific, but it's never stopping. So we're always in a dynamic flow. So I say use anything we can to remind us that we're in this beautiful dance. And that the heavens are in this dance with us, and the insects are in the dance with us, and the roosters are in the dance with us. and that we could just drop into this place that we're all on the same level in infinity. This absolute, like, atomic level of entanglement, a beautiful entanglement.
Delicious. Thank you. Thank you for this beautiful moment. I'm really pleased that we were here on the island at the same
I love that we
time.
can have this time together. It's really beautiful. Thank you. And keep
Thank
up your
you.
beautiful work.
Thank you. Thank you. And I might see you in Thailand.
I think that would be a fantastic opportunity. More to come on the Thailand adventure.
Ooh, I just heard about something very, very juicy, guys. So we'll see how all this unfolds. But there's so many beautiful culture with traditions and love to give and different sounds and it's just magnificent how we can really just grow and nurture ourselves when we travel, when we open our minds.
That's why traveling's so great, because you break out of those patterns, all the safety patterns at home. That's why I love to travel, because you go out and you have to face your stuff sometimes, and you open up to incredible opportunities that just aren't going to happen in the vibe of your home. So go out and travel and adventure and find some cool ways to be.
Thank you, Francesco.
Thank you.
Much love, my delicious co-creators. I hope you have enjoyed this interview. I have. Oh my goodness, this is good. Nana is not here today, but definitely was there in spirit for sure. And thank you for your support, for your love. I send you so much love here from the beautiful Makalea mountain. Bye-bye.
Aloha.
Aloha.